Yeah, right. That's right. Yes.
Well, we haven't had some. Yeah, I'll be happy to do Okay, it is 10 o'clock. We will call to order the regular session of the Houston County Commission for April 12th, 2021. We do have a quorum present, as all commissioners are in attendance with the exception of Commissioner Harvey, who had a conflict this morning. I want to welcome all of you. I will say this is the largest crowd we've had in over a year and a half, at least, I would say. So it's good to see your smiling faces. I do want to mention that today starts our new procedures and policies in the building. Masking is not mandatory in the building anymore, but we certainly encourage everyone, and I know many of you did so as you came in, and we appreciate you continuing to think about the issues we have and are facing with COVID. So thank you for that. Our invocation today will be led by Pastor Clark Cornelius from Grace Anglican Church. If you'll come to this microphone right here. Thank you, sir, for being with us this morning. And our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Commissioner Doug Singfield. If you'll all stand.
All right. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we give you humble and hearty thanks for creating us, for preserving us, and for blessing us. Lord, especially we give you sincere gratitude for bringing us through this time. It's been over a year, Lord, since we met together in person like that. And for this, we give you great thanks. Lord, we don't want to seem needy with all our requests, but we do want to be honest. We need you. We need your wisdom, Lord, as we make decisions. We need, Lord, your eyes to see with compassion, but also with justice. Lord, we need your strength to do the things that are difficult. Lord, we need your endurance to be able to last for the things that require time and patience. Lord, we ask that you would be with these men as they make decisions. Lord, help us to see what is good, what is true, what is noble, what is beautiful. Help us, Lord, to stand for what is right. Lord, I ask that the people, as they speak, that their words would find common ground, that you would bring us together in a unity that's not possible, uniting us not because of the color of our skin, our backgrounds, what part of the county we live in, but Lord, seeing ourselves as fellow citizens, as fellow sinners, as fellow journeyers that have gifts and talents and abilities and resources that you have graciously gifted to us, that we may use together for the common welfare and the common good. We ask all these things, Lord, not because we are good, but because you are, especially having given us that thing which is impossible for any human, salvation through the name, the death, and the resurrection of your Son, our Savior, the Lord Jesus, in whose name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Clark. We appreciate you being here. I know you have to leave. And one of the things we have missed over the last year and a half is having people, members of the clergy from our community come and start our meeting in the proper way. And we thank you for getting us back on that track.
Thank you for asking.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
God bless y'all.
Thank you. Look forward to having others join us and getting us back to the norm on that as we go forward. Not that our commissioners and staff have not done a fine job over the last year and a half or so, but it's good to have our community involved in our meeting. Gentlemen, you each received copies of the minutes from the preceding meeting. If there are no corrections, we need a motion to approve. Motion. By Commissioner Herring, second by Commissioner Singfield. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Passes. I think those are now the end there. All right, announcements. Let's see, I mentioned about our procedures and where we are on that. We do thank everyone for abiding by our changing rules, if you will, as we move forward. We do all hope we get back to normalcy, but we do encourage everyone to continue to mask when possible, social distance when possible, until this epidemic we continue to live under is totally eradicated, if that ever occurs. And so just bear with us as we move forward in a slow but steady pace to get back to some fashion of normalcy. Other announcements from the commission? Yes, sir. Yeah, Mr. Singleton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'd like to recognize a letter that we had received from our Cottonwood FFA, Cottonwood High School, and they sent us a letter. Houston County Commission says, thank you for supporting the Houston County Steer Show. We really enjoyed showing at the event and appreciate community stakeholders that donate time and money to support the local agricultural events such as this one. It was especially exciting to get the show in on our home county this year with so many things being canceled due to COVID. Thanks again for such a successful show. Ashton, Jacob, Angelisa, and Lacasio. We appreciate these young people being involved in agriculture and all the different entities of agriculture and such an important event and what they're doing. And thank them for their care and concern for making this possible, and these steer shows and whatever aspect of agriculture they can do today is certainly recommended. So we appreciate them.
It is glad we were able to help with that. Other announcements from the commission? All right, then we will move into our agenda. We have some awards and presentations, and let me just tell you all that are here to receive proclamations and whatnot. Normally we do all that down there, but in the essence of social distancing, we're going to present the proclamations and read them up here, and then Mr. Cover will receive the proclamation and hand it to you there, and we'll ask you for comments if that's all right. Not that we don't love you, but we just maintain social distancing. So if you'll just allow us. So the first proclamation today is that of Child Abuse Prevention Month. Ms. Lindsay Wagner is here with us. If you'll come to the podium. The community advocate with Child Advocacy Center. If I can have a motion to approve the proclamation. Motion by Commissioner Herring, second by Commissioner Singfield. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you you all for being here with us. And I'll let you introduce when we get to that point. Child Advocacy, as you all know, does outstanding job in our community, and we appreciate the work that you all do. Our proclamation reads, whereas children are vital to our state's future success, prosperity, and quality of life, as well as being our most valuable assets, and whereas our children deserve to have the safe, stable, nurturing homes and communities they need to foster their healthy growth and development, and whereas child abuse and neglect is a community responsibility affecting both the current and future quality of the community, And whereas communities that provide parents with the social support and resources they need to cope with stress and nurture their children, help ensure all children grow to their full potential. And whereas effective child abuse prevention strategies succeed because of partnerships created among citizens, human service agencies, schools, faith-based organizations, and the business community. Now therefore, I, Mark Culver, Chairman of the Houston County Commission, on behalf of the Commission, do hereby proclaim April 2021 as Child Abuse Prevention Month and call upon all citizens, community agencies, faith groups, medical facilities, elected leaders, and businesses to increase their participation in our efforts to support families, thereby preventing child abuse and strengthening the communities in which we live. I will present this to Mr. Covert, who will present it to you on behalf of the county. And we thank you very much for not just being here today and helping us recognize Child Abuse Prevention Month, but for the daily efforts that you and the staff that you work with out there on 431 do in such a critical area of our community. So, comments from you?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be here today. I want to introduce Megan Marchman. She's our new education advocate. Our longtime education advocate, Grace Geisler, has just moved up and over to the MDT coordinator position. And Megan is coming in to do our education piece to the school systems. So again, thank you all for letting us be here. Our community awareness campaign for this Child Abuse Prevention Month, or what we call our Blue Ribbon Campaign, is the slogan is "Every child safe, every community aware." And so we just want to make sure everyone knows that it's not just us doing our job at the center, but everyone in the community's job also to be on the lookout and to report child abuse.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that, and you certainly are addressed a part of the Blue Ribbon Campaign. So, we thank you for that, and thank y'all for being here today so that we can present that proclamation to you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, the second item on our agenda today is a proclamation for Hippie Day. Some of us can relate. It's Nancy Brown, the Hippie Coordinator of the Alfred Saliba Center, is here with a guest and is coming to the podium. We have a motion to approve the proclamation. Motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Shute, second by Commissioner Singfield. Glad you are here with us today. The proclamation reads: whereas home instruction for parents of preschool youngsters, also known as Hippie, is a home-based early education intervention program designed to help parents with limited formal education prepare their children for school. And whereas Alfred Saliba Family Services Center's Hippie program serves 6 counties in Alabama, no family is charged for services or materials to participate in the program. And whereas Hippie delivers 30 weeks of lessons to parents at home, who in turn teach their 2 to 5-year-old children for 20 minutes each day. The Hippie activities include reading, math, science, motor and language skills, in which cognitive, creative, social, and emotional development is addressed. And whereas the National PTA reports that the most accurate predictors of student achievement in school are not family income or social status, but the extent to which the family becomes involved in the child's education. It's undeniable that parents who are active supporters of their children's learning are giving their kids the best opportunity for educational success. Parental support and involvement can also benefit kids of all ages at a developmental level that extends beyond academics. Now, therefore, I, Mark Culver, Chairman of the Houston County Commission, on behalf of the Commission, do hereby proclaim April 26, 2021 as Hippie Day in Houston County, and call upon all parents of preschool-age children to participate in literacy activities such as reading a book with your child, playing a game, or going to the library with your child on April 26th and during the entire year. I will present this to Mr. Covert to present to you, and thank you for making us aware of the program that you have, and I just love the name, by the way. Makes me want to wear a tie-dye shirt on that. It is a great program, and we're all aware of the Family Services Center and the work that goes on over there. And thank you for coming here today and letting us recognize the activity that you're doing. So Comments from you?
Yes, on behalf of the Alfred Saliba Family Service Center, thank you so much for the opportunity. At Hoopie, early education is very important to us. And it's very refreshing to know that our community leaders share the same vision as we do. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, our next proclamation is for Crime Victims' Rights Week. Ms. Shelley Linderman is coming to the podium, the director of Wiregrass Angel House. Whatever she wants at the appropriate time. I'm going to ask Commissioner Herring to read the proclamation as he is a board member now of the Wiregrass Angel House. Commissioner Herring, if you will do that after I entertain a motion. Motion by Commissioner Shute, second by Commissioner Herring. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion passes. Commissioner Herring.
Proclamation reads, whereas the preservation of peace in our communities and protection from violence for all citizens of Houston County are fundamental priorities of government. And whereas every year thousands of citizens still experience emotional, physical, psychological, and financial harm as a result of criminal activity. And whereas victimization occurs among people of all ages, abilities, and all economic, racial, and social backgrounds. And whereas Wiregrass Angel House works to provide vital services to victims, including crisis intervention, 24-hour hotline, crime scene cleanup, legal advocacy, counseling, and programs for children. And whereas we must all strive to continue improving services and expanding support for Houston County's crime victims and survivors. And whereas National Crime Victims' Rights Week, April the 18th through 24th, 2021, is an opportunity to build upon the years of progress and hard work and renew our commitment to ensuring that the Crime Victims' Bill of Rights is fully implemented and that all victims have the services they need to recover from crime. And whereas Wiregrass Angel House, criminal justice officials, and concerned citizens throughout Houston County are joining forces to raise awareness of victims' rights and observe National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Now therefore, I, Mark Culver, do hereby recognize April 18th through 24th, 2021 as Crime Victims' Rights Week in Houston County, and I call this observance to the attention of all our citizens.
Thank you, sir. We will ask Mr. Covert to present this. And thank you all for the service you provide to folks who are in need of your services at unfortunate times usually. So I served on your board, as you know, for a long time. Commissioner Herring is doing an outstanding job now. And we appreciate your services here in our community. Comments from you?
Yes, I'd like to, most of our staff came today because this is very important to us. National Crime Victims' Rights Week is very important. It's not just important to the victims that we serve, but it's important to victims across all violent crime, whether it's child abuse, rape, robbery. And so we just, on behalf of Angel House, Christy Stacy is our court advocate, Tony Luke is our dog program manager, and Katie Lewis is our outreach coordinator. And I just want to say on behalf of all of us, thank you, and thank you for what you do in the community, because that's what it's all about. We can't work unless we have the community working together. So thank you.
Okay, do you not want to mention your golf tournament you got coming up?
Sorry. Yes, sorry. To commemorate next week on Sunday, we have what we call Family Fun Day. And we're partnering with CAC, House of Ruth, and the Exchange Center. And we're all coming together to have a fun time to engage in the community. It's 1 to 5 on Sunday. It's at Angel House. Everything is free for children, bouncy houses, face paint, such as that. And then on Thursday, our major fundraiser is our golf tournament, which is April 22nd at Dozen National. So all of y'all want to join up, call Katie and we'll get you a team together.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you for
very
that.
much. All right, the next item on the agenda is a recognition of Telecommunicators Week. If Major Rafferty would come forward and make comments.
Morning, Captain. Yes, I brought Captain Ivy with me. He is over the communications. First of all, thanks for allowing us to be here today to speak on this. It's very important. Telecommunications Week is the second week of April of every year. 1981, Patricia Anderson of the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office in California initiated this week's celebration for communication employees. Houston County Sheriff's Office has 15 slots, and at this time, all of our slots are full, which is the first time in years. First, we'd like to thank Houston County Commission for allowing the pay adjustment. It has made a big, big difference in the quality of communication employees, as well as bringing in qualified persons, period. Our employees deal with a lot of stress on a daily basis. I did not get the total number of calls that we handle here, but it's over 30,000 calls that our communication handles on a yearly basis. They're the ears on all calls. They're our ears for safety. They're the ears of the public, because their ears and what they hear make a big, big difference for everybody in our community, whether they live here or just passing through it. They're the ones that hear a mother when her child's not breathing, or a loved one, or a burglary in progress and it's your child at home, domestic violence calls, shots being fired. They're the ones that hear all that before we even get dispatched to it. There's a safety for the deputies, for other officers and first responders. They get the needed information. They listen and get the facts, whether they're simple facts or it's very dangerous. They're responsible for 17 volunteer fire departments, 7 municipalities, law enforcement, and really 6 rescue squads. That includes Headlands that we dispatch for our area. Alabama troopers, Aaliyah troopers, and Fish and Game. That's what our little dispatch operations covers. Not one law enforcement agency, not one rescue squad, not one fire department. With Sheriff's Department, under Sheriff Valenza, no one understands what our dispatchers go through. We try to give them the best education we possibly can. Let's say we've worked very hard to get where we're at now, to have our slots filled with qualified people. Right now, 2/3 are certified, and the other third is 3 of the 5 are very close to being certified. Haven't been there a long time. You know, but due to the stress and the facts that our communications operators deal with on daily basis, we have Dr. Tim Falk on call 24/7. All we have to do is call him, not just for dispatch, but first responders, for law enforcement. And then we also have it where he meets with them quarterly to talk to them about what they deal with on a daily basis. You know, the Sheriff's Department has, since Sheriff Valenza has been in office, we do show our appreciation to our communication operators. We do have a luncheon for them. We actually have on a couple different days, so we try to get everybody in there, as well as Captain Ivy usually sets up and does a cookout down at the building as well. Last year, we weren't able, due to COVID, to take them out. It's planned for this week for us to take them out too. Communication Center is for all law enforcement, first responders. It is the heart, the safety, the life saving, the help of all communities, towns, cities, and those traveling through. We'd like to thank communication employees. We're proud of the job and the job well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for making us aware of Communicators Week, Telecommunicators Week, and on behalf of the commission, please extend to the folks under you the appreciation for the job they do. Thank you. All right, moving on to the regular agenda. The first item is a request for 050 retail beer off-premise only license and 070 retail table wine off-premise only license for Doggin Court, which is Dollar General Store located at 140 South State Highway 123, Alabama. That would be in Winston. Question to approve. Motion by Commissioner Shute. Second by Commissioner Singfield. Is there anyone here in objection to this license being issued? Yeah, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 2, request to award bid for printing and mailing of monthly renewal notices to lowest bidder meeting specs. Motion by Commissioner Singfield. Second by Commissioner Harry. Any questions? Heather is here in case you have any questions and would love to come to the podium and talk about this, I'm sure. No questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 3, request to approve repairs at wastewater treatment plant and accompanying budget amendments. Motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Shute. Second by Commissioner Harry. This is ongoing work that we have to, basically it's maintenance to that plant that hadn't been done. I guess it's been down there for a year or so. That has been needing. We approved the work, but we did not approve the budget amendment, and the work is ongoing. So this is just to make sure we do it all right. Questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4 is request to approve budget amendment for construction equipment costs. Motion by Commissioner Singfield. Second by Commissioner Shute. We discussed this on Thursday. This is an opportunity that has been presented to us to, we believe, get exceptional value for our current equipment and move forward with new equipment. I think our discussion was if we wait on this, we think we'll probably lose some of this value and this opportunity. So between that and the fact that money is exceptionally cheap right now, that I think everyone, at least based on the conversations I remember from Thursday, everyone believes this is an opportunity that the timing is good on. So I'm asking if there's any comments or questions. Mark, you got any comments? No. Questions for Engineer Kirkland regarding this? We're taking this, for those watching, we're taking our old equipment. Our provider is buying those back from us at an extremely high buyback price, higher than we can get at an auction. And we are turning around and purchasing, putting on lease new equipment. So our net cost is much lower than it typically would have been. As simple as I can explain. Comments, questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes. Item 5, request to sell on gov deals miscellaneous office equipment from probate, accounting, and the revenue department. Motion by Commissioner Singfield. Second by Commissioner Harry. Questions? Or comments? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Staff reports, Mr. Chief Administrative Officer.
No reports, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. County Engineer.
Closed roads on Cecil Barnum, Gilmore, Muncie Road, and of course Campbell Road, same roundabout.
Mr. County Attorney. All right, any questions for the staff? Okay, hearing none. We stand in adjournment. Thank y'all.
about you?
Okay, well.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
Go, Dark.
I don't think. Oh, okay. But he did ask me for that. Yes, that's Okay, let's just, y'all scoot this way just a smidge. Perfect. Perfect, go ahead.
Okay.
Take these masks off.
Yeah, I didn't put makeup on today because I put it around wearing masks.
We on the end, keep me off.
Whatever. Are we